Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to talk about the important vocabulary terms that you need to know in order to understand algebra. Alright, so parts of an algebraic equation. So on the screen here you see that there's an equation called y equals 3x plus 2. Now what does each one represent? So as you can see, y is a variable and x is a variable. Anything that has letters, we treat them as our variables. Now 3 is in front of x, so we treat that as prefix or we treat that as coefficient. Now 2 is just a number by itself and that is called constant. Now each of these pieces in the equation are called terms. Term, term, term. Now an expression is something without an equal sign, and equation should always have an equal sign. So algebraic expressions and algebraic equations. So these are the fundamental parts of an algebraic equation. As I have mentioned earlier, a constant is a value or number that never changes in an equation. So for example, here ax plus bx plus c plus 0, a, b and c are constants. They are numbers or prefixes given to the variable x. The value of x depends on what a, b and c are assigned to be. Now just the number 5 is a constant because it is whatever the 5 means, it stays 5. 23 on 5 is never 23 or some other number. So 5 means 5. A variable can be constant if it is assigned a definite value. Usually a variable representing a constant is one of the first letters in the alphabet. So if I assign a value 1 to my x, so this is no more a variable. So usually we write equations as ax plus bx plus c plus 0. So a, b and c, as I said, are constants and x is your variable. But if you assign a number to x, this whole thing becomes constants. So by substituting a value into a variable, you can change a variable to a constant. Next, equation should have equal sign. That's all. You're putting some terms together and saying what is it equal to. So because it has an equal sign, it has left hand side and it has right hand side, and this equal sign is cutting this piece into two parts like left and right. So when you are doing the 5 golden rules of solving equations, this understanding that an equal sign is dividing this into two sides, left and right, is important because the golden rules that I'm talking about uses the left hand side and the right side, letters to left, numbers to right. So please keep that in mind. That's the important part of equation. An expression is something that doesn't have an equal sign. So it just contains terms, everything the same except you don't put an equal sign. So all the things that apply to an equation applies to an expression without the equal sign. Now I have used a googly eyes, or I like this to be called as my I spy with my little eye. So when you're talking about factors, remember factors are multiplications. So factors means you're multiplying something with something to get a result or a product. So we always use something as look for common terms, look for common terms. So if you look at an example here, you have among this a is a common thing. So write a out and open a bracket. By opening a bracket, you are indicating that it have to be multiplied. So b, so if you bring out a, b is left, so you're going to write b here. From AC, if A is the common thing, which we did, C is left out, so write C there. And between AD, again, A is the common, so write D inside. As you can see, between these three terms, which variable is common? A. So a has to be written out and open a bracket. So that's how you write a factor. And for this, you really need to have searching eyes to look for what are common variables that are given to us, and that's how you extract them out and write it outside and open a bracket. An operation, well, an operation is not something like a doctor performing or a surgeon operating, but operation is something that is happening between two numbers. So here is an example. So you have 3 plus 4. So this plus is telling you what to do with 3 and 4. So that is an operation. So usually we deal with these 4 in our algebraic equations for year 7 and year 8 level. But as you keep moving, we also introduce exponents. So you will do quadratics or cubic functions, and then also you'll deal with exponential logarithmic functions. So the operations will change. But the simple operations meaning is how two numbers are connected with each other. What are we doing between them? That's all. Simplify. Now the word simplify means make it simple. So for this, usually you'll use when you are dealing with fractions. So what we are looking for is we want you to simplify to the smallest possible numbers. So here in this picture you have three pictures, three fractions, but it indicates that the three of them are the same, whether you write it as 1 over 2, 2 over 4, or 4 over 8. If you simplify, the smallest numbers that you can come down to is 1 over 2. Now keep in mind, when for simplifying fractions, the numerator and the denominator must be using the same multiplication table. So you cannot use one number from one table and the other one from another. So the numerator and denominator have to be simplified in such a way that as long as those two numbers are from the same multiplication table or same factors, it has same factors, then you can simplify it. Okay, so that's what simplifying fractions indicate. Solving. Solving means getting the variable by itself or isolating a variable. That's what it means. I don't want the whole equation. I just want to know what the value of x is in that equation. So we use the word solve. So you're looking for the value of the variable. A variable itself has a conditions. It have to have the same letter and it have to have the same power. Okay. Oh, sorry, that's like terms. A variable is nothing but a letter. So in our equation, you can see that it is 2x plus 4y equals 0. Guys, I'm so sorry I'm doing this late night, so probably I have to go sleep. But anyway, so 2x plus 4y equals 20. So x and y are the two letters in this equation, so they both are your variables. Okay, next. Coefficient is nothing but a prefix. So a x square plus bx plus c. A and b are the coefficients of x square and x terms. Okay, a and b are your coefficients and your variable is the letter. I know you can say a, b and c are also letters, miss, but we are looking for a variable which is the same letter, x and x square and x. So this is a quadratic equation, but as you get familiarized with more equations, it will become easy to identify which one is actually variable and which one is a coefficient. So don't worry about it. C is a constant. Okay, this is a quadratic expression. There are more other videos done on it, so please check that out, but for now don't worry about it. All you need to know is what a coefficient is. Coefficient is the number that is with the variable. So for example, if you have 4x, 4 is the coefficient. Then we use the words called exponents. Exponents are nothing but powers or indices. They are on the top right corner of the number. That indicates that it's an exponent. And 8 square means 8 times 8. It is the numbers are connected through multiplication. So for example, if I write y to the power of 3, that means it is y times y times y. Okay, so the operation between them is multiplication. That's it. Next, like terms. Like terms means they need to have the same letters and the same matching power. So those are the two requirements. Now take a look at this example. So you have 6xy square, negative 2xy square, 1/3 xy square. Now the question is, do you consider all of them to be like terms? And I say yes, because your same letters and the y has the same power. So that part is the same. Even though the coefficients are all different, the xy square, xy square, xy square is the same in all three of them. So we treat that as your like terms. And this is a very important piece of information for you, because many a times you will be combining like terms when you have to find the value of x. You'll be combining like terms. Okay, so make sure that you understand this word and how to group them correctly. All right, guys, that's it. I think those are the basic vocabulary words that I want you to learn for algebraic expressions and algebraic equations. Have a wonderful, blessed day, guys.